Especially dangerous with the white pieces. Just great opening preparation. For someone so young, it's rare to achieve such a kind of dynamic, kind of bulletproof opening repertoire, but he has that. And Magnus, starting in provocative fashion, he's gone for the modern defense. And we've seen him employ this before yesterday with success. Magnus Carlsen. Prag has clearly come prepared. White's H-pawn marching forward. Simon, you must be loving this right now.
It's a very interesting idea that in a chessboard course that I did along with Richard Pallister, that here you go G4. OK, wow, he's actually given up the exchange. What an absolute maniac. So that's all I'm going to say. Prag wants to kill Magnus.
He's your hero. Actually, the evaluation bar loves White's position, and that's rare. The computer normally is very sceptical unless there's a forcing variation, but Magnus, caught by a surprise, just pushing a pawn forward one square. Maybe he wants to use his queen just to defend the pawn next to it. You know,
allowing a knight to come into that square, stopping a queen coming over to defend it. He's actually gone for this one straight away, and I can just see him getting crushed here. I mean, OK, he's trying to keep the position closed and take away a square for the white knight. That makes a lot of sense, but it's now White's move. Can White increase the pressure here? Why, he just castles. He doesn't care about being exchanged down to play maybe the worst move on the board.
Whoops.
Yes, you just get your queen trapped. So, oh dear. Yeah, so there's a little bit of danger here. Well, Magnus has played. You say when you're getting attacked, don't open up your king. So what's he done? He's opened up his king. So very risky move that as well. But he's got it. I guess he's got to take risks. I mean,
that's
so scary.
OK, forget that one. That's just too dangerous. But yeah, Prag has said, yeah, I will welcome that opening. And now the bishop has developed that. That's a much better move.
Don't take the pawn with the rook, Simon. Just calm down. And OK, he's played a more positional approach, right? I mean,
it blocked in the bishop.
He's blocked in the bishop, but he's keeping his strong pawn in the centre. Could backfire here.
Maybe this pawn will drop, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he chooses. I like this one as well, Simon. In a blitz game, you play this and you just checkmate and you win.
This is much more sensible. Get the firepower in first, right? There's a target. You always look for a square that you can attack in your opponent's camp, and there's a way here that White can easily bring a bishop in, threatening checkmate in one move there, because Black doesn't have a pawn in front of the king. So that's why going the other way, it's a bit more blocked over there. And you want to put your king on the side where your opponent can't get through to it with his pieces. Beautiful piece you are.
But then when they get captured, they'll feel so sad.
That's true.
You could say, good job, and they would feel proud. And talking about a piece that could get captured, well, there's a pawn on f7 that is up for grabs.
Prag having a big attack, a winning attack. OK, he does play the best move. I was about to say, Stockfish does say on our screens in front of us that one move is significantly better than the others. Every other move would have given Black an advantage, but Prag finds it. We've called that Prag style before. He's very good at finding those moves when they're far better than the others, and he does take this pawn with the queen. If White takes this pawn, OK, he does find the best move, of course. Then Knight takes pawn would have been very complicated, but Magnus, OK, he does decide it's time to counterattack. No more passive play. This one, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and we saw this position earlier. We might be headed in that direction potentially. So this skewer, and now rook takes bishop, giving up the white queen. But after a capture on this square, I guess the knight takes and plants itself. It's 3 pieces for a queen.
Or rook takes f7 immediately was also the other option, I guess. So, but OK, this hasn't happened, but yeah.
OK, this is great. I mean, crazy. We can forgive Prag for not going for this. Queen against 3 minor pieces. Yeah, who knows who's better here?
He's gone for this queen takes bishop, but we didn't think that Magnus was in serious trouble now, did we? He's getting some coordination with his pieces, and he seems to be over the worst. I would have thought here, at least.
Yeah, this queen's struggling for squares as well. She's only got 2 safe squares. OK, she chooses this one. There were 2 options. Yeah, suddenly it feels like Black's coordinating. Black's knight is nicely placed. Black's rook at some point will come into the action. Black can take this pawn at will whenever he wants. Yeah, it's in the balance.
Yeah.
Magnus has survived, and it was all about survival. That's, I think, the key in chess when you're defending. Just focus on one thing. You can counterattack later. And, OK, he hits the white queen. Where will she go?
Exact same reasons.
Yeah.
And
I'll say Prag. Just, I like White's pawn structure.
And is a win the most likely result in this game, if it is Prag or if it is Magnus?
Yeah, I mean, even if the computer says 0 point something, I just don't see how this position is going to be a draw. It's just so wild, so imbalanced, not just in terms of material, but also pawn structure, king safety. It's wild. So a draw. Got to move it.
What's the move? Is there a crazy one?
Okay, there is a crazy one, and Prag has played it.
That's when cheating would help, right?
Yeah.
Because if you knew in that situation the bars change, you'd look for something a bit outrageous, so your eyes would be drawn to this kind of move. I don't know why it works. It just, okay, wow. 2 exchanges down.
Yeah. What is the count here? Black has 2 rooks. In return, White has a knight, a bishop, and 4 pawns? I mean, someone do some maths for me, please. It's been too long a day. But it's a crazy material imbalance, and
Kings are under fire. Just incredible stuff. I would just move the rook if I were Magnus. And, Black also has some tricks up their sleeve. Like the move that I would be planning and plotting would be to actually move the knight and put it on the d1 square.
how does the computer think it's just like such a small advantage for either side? It looks like someone should be winning. OK, the bishop does move. And very sensible.
Yeah, I mean, White's pieces are looking good, and now Magnus is trying to swap off, right?
Yeah, similar ideas to what Jovanka has in mind, potentially. The white knight capturing the black knight, it wouldn't end in checkmate because this check can be blocked by the white queen.
I just saw that someone was worried about my computer after the coffee spilt on it. I'd just like to clarify, it's not my computer, it's Kaya's. So if steam starts coming up, I apologise, you know.
And right now, again, material count. Black has 2 rooks worth 10. White has a knight, a bishop, and is it 4 pawns? It is 4 pawns. So knight, bishop, and 4. That's also worth 10. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This.
So it's equal.
That's
material.
enough counting for me today.
We need that Ken guy back again to do maths on this game, I think.
But this position is just crazy because you have to let go of some pawns. And, OK, he's decided to let go of the g2 pawn. But the white king is now going to get mobilised, step up, attack some rooks. I would be terrified.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
maybe...
black,
yeah. I mean, is Prag winning this?
Computer seems to think so. The evaluation bars have really woken up. And I love this last idea, just giving away 1 pawn, just not even caring that black's rook came and took a pawn, but the white king is going to join as an attacking piece in this endgame. It's similar to what Magnus showed against Aronian. Active kings, they're just an extra piece. And, OK, the black rook moves. Wow, is this rook getting trapped, maybe?
Wow.
You've got to be really careful where you go with this rook. That rook does have 2 safe squares. I was going to say either you come across on a dark square or you go back up the board. Sit on a dark square, you don't want to get hit by white's bishop.
I mean, so hard. I mean, it's the kind of game where it's probably easier if you turn off the computer evaluation because it changes so much, because it's so dynamic and either side can win this, even though it says Prag is well in charge. I mean, I guess his pawns are just very scary here. Yeah. Simply, those pawns are going to roll. And the knight and bishop work very well together. The rooks are disconnected at the same time. Also, I'm just mentioning Ivanchuk doesn't seem to be having a great day today. I hope he comes back into the mix, Chucky. I want to see him qualify. And still, we're Chucky fans here, so we'll see tomorrow about that.
Yeah.
And maybe we can jump in to explain why White probably has the advantage here. Just dropping back with a knight check. OK, wow. I was thinking, Black would love to just eliminate one of these pieces. But, now suddenly the white pawn structure is broken up. The black king is going to take this guy. And, Simon, you made a sound there.
I think this is now, if anyone's going to win this, it'll be black now. Again, it's changed again. Probably a draw, but you've lost all your advantage by allowing that counter-sack.
White needed to keep the knight intact, maybe just retreat it to this square, keep these 2 pawns in your pocket for later. It's black's dream to get rid of his rook for your knight and 2 pawns. And this barrier is no longer existent, and, Oh, sorry, me and my arrows. The king is coming in. Wow, Magnus has played a really weird move this last one, dropping the rook back. The whole idea, I guess, is that if the king marches forward, the black king will also step out the way, and the king is cut off on this line.
Anish, Giri, hey, congratulations with the win in your final game.
Hi, thank you.
What has today been like, Anish?
You want my hot take on the hot matter, or what is it? Or are we going to pretend, we're going to ignore the elephant in the room there? I mean, it's like when you play poker and you bluff, on the first, because I saw he plays poker, so you bluff on the first, then comes, another card, you keep bluffing, and then another card, and you keep bluffing. But yeah, I mean, it looks like he's clearly insinuating something. But until you catch someone, you cannot do anything. So. Rabbit from the head with Magnus, but he just doesn't want to play Hans, it seems. And it's quite interesting that the game after that he played so well. I was thinking, like you might be disturbed, but he was just undisturbed. Really a special human being, for sure.
Are you, like the rest of the chess world, basically calling for Magnus to explain this and maybe come with some evidence against Hans?
But I think it's pretty clear that he doesn't have it. Because if he had, there would be no need to do that. It's pretty clear to me that he is convinced, or near convinced, that that is the case. These things, they stick, and then afterwards the big boys they don't trust you anymore, and that's not good. So yeah, I mean, definitely, with this drama, like every time you need some new information to keep the drama going. But today, with this thing, will definitely keep spiraling for a while. Crazy stuff going on. And it's not clear how it will end, because as we see, like I don't think Magnus has anything more than what's there. I mean, there is the repeated cheating online. There is the slightly weird character that Hans is portraying. But, just the fact that all of that doesn't mean that he cheats all the time, or doesn't mean that he cheats over the board.
Well, and you play Hans Niemann tomorrow in round 10 and each. Are you uncomfortable playing him?
Let me be very frank, because I knew about all this. Everybody knew about all this stuff about online cheating, and we know about online cheating by multiple other players as well.
Okay.
It'll be because these things, they just leaked, and these are not the top players, but young players who have been banned on various websites. I always thought there is a possibility that Hans is cheating, but looking at my own games, I have conviction that he never did that against me, because he usually plays very badly. But either way, there are swing levels, level swings in his play, and that might very well do with the fact that he's very young. There are also many level swings with everyone, but in particular with the young players, because they know some positions better, they know some position less. They looked at some lines, they didn't look at some others. They studied some Catalan lines, didn't look some, anti-Berlins. So, I'm eager to play Hans. I've done very well against him before. He plays very poorly against me, so I'm not concerned. But of course, he seems to be improving. His rating is rising, whatever the reason is, whether he's just legit very strong, or what Magnus is trying to insinuate. But either way, it is, of course, an exciting game, but can be dangerous as well. So I'm looking forward. Whenever I play, I always push these thoughts away. And I heard that Magnus said the same in some interview, but I don't know what happened to him. Like, whenever you play, you have to just assume that the opponents don't cheat. It's like one of these, it's one of the psychological issues that players chess players struggle. And normally you don't withdraw, you just, if you can't deal with them, you go to therapist.
We wish you best of luck tomorrow as well in your fight to qualify for the knockouts. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, I'll do my best, thank you.
Maybe that is what's going on with Magnus resigning against Hans Niemann. This one, is it now going to be a draw?
Yes. I'm slightly surprised Magnus went for this last move, giving up his rook for White's bishop and pawn. White is a pawn up, but some calculation is needed. If the White king can make its way and win Black's pawn, it's game over. But Magnus knows his endgames, and there's not going to be a way for White to win this one. Black keeps the opposition like he does here, blocks off the advance of the White king, and we're just going to see a shuffle by both kings here. No way through. This is endgame 101. King of pawn endgame is so tricky, but if you know your stuff, you can save a lot of points. Yeah, this one, it's so unfair, chess. You see the most exciting game, roller coaster game. They always seem to end in draws, however. And king versus king. Did you see that? Magnus just clapped, applauded Prag, and we have a draw.
Wow, that is so interesting. Magnus Carlsen and Pragnandha, they keep having the best fights in the Meltwater Champions Chess Tour. And this one went all the way down to king versus king. A draw between the 17-year-old and the world #1, Magnus Carlsen. Now we are, oh, look at that.